We are live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monday, April 26th. It's a special meeting of the Board of Directors for the Council Rock School District. At this time, I'd like you to rise and do the national anthem. Go ahead and pledge allegiance. I'm sorry. Pledge allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
Of the United States of America and
To
to
the
the republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
God,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
with
Liberty
liberty and justice for all.
for all.
There we go. Madam Secretary, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Ed Solomon,
Here.
Kristen Marcel,
Here.
Andy Block,
here,
Denise Brooks,
Here.
Mark Bialik, and Joe Hidalgo. They're both absent, right?
Yes.
Marianne McKee,
Here.
Ed Tate,
here,
Dr. Thorwart.
Here,
And Mr. Cox, good evening. Can I have a solicitor's report real quick?
Mr. Salomon, I don't have anything to report tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And once again, good evening. From there, Ms. O'Grady, are you on the phone?
Yes.
Public comment, I understand we have a couple.
Yes, sir. We have two public comments. Our first public comment is from Scott Porosky of Newtown Township. Mr. Porosky writes, CR Board, although I have been a resident of Newtown Township for the past 13 years, I am a new parent to the Council Rock School District. My son will be starting kindergarten in the fall at Goodnoe Elementary and is very excited for the upcoming school year. Looking over the presentation deck for district school improvements and construction, I have some concerns regarding a few items. Specifically, the Sol Finestone renovations and the turf field install at Council Rock South. Considering the age of SFE and the fact building codes have changed over the past 40 years, has the school been inspected to determine if additional renovations might be required over the next 5 to 8 years? If not, spending towards renovation and improvement costs now might be a short-sighted approach. Overall, a long-term, more effective improvement approach should be planned for, as it would yield a better return on investments and more effective use of budget fundings. Concerning the turf field, while initial cost of an artificial turf are slightly cheaper than a natural turf one, you will spend more money over time going this route. On average, an artificial turf needs to be replaced every 7 to 10 years, depending upon age, and could cost up to $450,000. The risks of sports injury also increase due to improper installation. A grass field, while needing seasonal maintenance and care, will not need the extensive labor costs to replace, restore that an artificial turf field would. Thank you for your service to our school district, and on behalf of all parents, we appreciate the hard work. Our second public comment comes in from Yota Polly of Upper Makefield Township, who writes, my name is Yota Polly and I have been a resident of Upper Makefield Township for the past 18 years. I am also running for the school board director, and I would like to address the board not only as a resident, but also as a prospective board member. I urge you to vote to approve the renovations at Sol Finestone. The school facilities are not safe for the students and the school community. The asbestos must be removed, the aging boilers must be changed, and a system that provides clean air and AC must be installed. My son, Andreas Macris, graduated from our beloved Sol Finestone in 2012. Even back then, the school was in immediate need of renovation. It is hard to believe that nothing has happened all these years later. We live in an affluent community and we all pay a significant amount of school taxes so that our students are well educated and Council Rock remains a desirable school district. Although the majority of taxpayers do not have children in the district, keeping Council Rock strong increases our property values. Why would someone move here or send their children to an unsafe school? We need to attend to and remain attractive to current and future families. I'm glad Dr. Frazier presented a way of financing that makes the decision to renovate Sol Finestone an easy one. I would urge all board members to vote in favor of the renovation. If elected, this would be one of my top priorities. Thank you. One additional comment just came in from Kevin Campbell, who of Upper Makefield. Mr. Campbell writes, I'm a proud Council Rock parent and a community members. I have not always agreed with the board's decision, but I have respected the board's process and intent to fully communicate with transparency among themselves and the community on the whole. This board and past boards have made painstaking decisions that at the time were tough, but the board appeared united regardless of the outcome. In the past, several topics were delayed to gather more information so the board could make the best decision available at the time to move forward. I watched the meeting where the vote was taken to approve the turf project and Hillcrest renovations based on the numbers each of you had at that time. During that meeting, there were board members who were concerned about voting the matter where they believed they did not have enough time to fully review the data. It was clear that both schools could not be done. I watched the Thursday meeting where new estimates and analysis show that the district could support the additional Saul Feinstein project. This new information, less than a few days old, is being used, in my opinion, to rush a vote that has already been taken and is setting bad precedent moving forward. We need to remind the general contractor we set the terms, and hopefully they can hold the price and schedule with minimal cost impacts. The vote is critical to the debt liability on the district, which must be a significant factor in the rationale to proceed. Positioning of this vote is unprecedented and sends the wrong message. A delay of 30 days or more may be the best money spent for our children, building infrastructure and community. Thank you for your time. And that concludes our public comments.
Thanks, Ms. O'Grady. From there, we're going to move to items for approval. 3A, I'm going to ask Mr. Tate to read that, please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. If you don't mind, I'll defer to Mr. Block. Make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. I'd be honored. I move to approve the bids for the Saul Feinstein Elementary School additions and renovations project, including select value-added alternates to the contractors as attached to the agenda at a total cost not to exceed $27,143,924, subject to solicitor's review and audit. I move to approve the professional service agreements for the Saul Feinstein Elementary School project as attached to the agenda, subject to the solicitor's review and audit.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Brooks with a second. Do we have any comments about this subject matter? Going around the room? Well, I got to admit that I didn't say much last week. Several weeks ago, we looked at these bids. My concern was finances as usual with the number one issue. I don't think anybody on this board can undercut the need for Saul Feinstein to be redone. For me, it's always been with finances first and how we can move this through the district. But we can't forget that we have many kids going to that school and it's in need. Last week's presentation was spectacular. Dr. Frazier, my hat's off to your team. It put a lot of things into perspective, but it also left me with another taste in my mouth that no matter where we go with this bid and this vote tonight, this team, this school board has a lot of work to do. We have a budget that needs to close some gaps. We have a tax increase or decrease or taxes in general to talk about. But I'm confident this team, this school board of directors can do what's best for the kids. And I'm going to support this renovation this evening happily for the kids, the staff, and alumni of Saul Feinstein. It's many years in the making, and I hope the board will see suit tonight to do that. Does anybody else have any comments? Can I have a roll call, please, then?
Wait,
Mr.
you're
Solomon.
not following, you're not following.
Oh,
the
I saw your
hand?
hand, Mike. Excuse me. I apologize. It just popped up. Mr. Thor.
I, like the last public comment we had, think that this is full steam ahead brush and will not be voting for it. I have serious concerns that the deadlines that were imposed on this board earlier in April apparently didn't matter at all. And now we can move move things along without any concern for deadlines and notices to proceed and whatnot. So I don't have updated financials. I don't have a budget in front of me, and therefore I will be a no.
Dr. Thor, thank you. Any other hands? I'm sorry, I apologize for that delay, sir.
My hand is up.
Oh, there it is. Blends in with your background. I apologize.
Oh, sorry.
Brooks, please.
Thank you. I voted in favor of this 2.5 weeks ago, before the new information that came to the board was presented last week. So I enthusiastically continue to support this project. This is not unlike many issues that come before the board, where we have a process, we take a vote, and sometimes things happen and the will of the board changes some of the direction. And this is no different. New information has come in, and I certainly hope that the majority of the board will join me in supporting this extremely needed project. To me, this is the right thing to do for the future of our district, for the students, for the community. It keeps us true to our strategic plan, to our capital improvement plan, capital planning. And so the information that was presented last week just makes me feel even better to support this project. So I look forward to casting my vote yes, and I hope that a majority of the board will do the same. Thank you.
Mrs. Brooks, thank you. Mr. Block, please.
Yeah, I just want to echo the point that Ms. Brooks made about planning. This capital plan was written back in 2013 as the district faced really significant pension crisis. We talked about that over the last couple of weeks as we've added $30 million a year to our annualized budget since I think 2011. And we had a set of buildings back in 2013 that was in bad shape and only getting worse. And through careful planning from an operations standpoint and a financial standpoint, we've been able to steadily improve our facilities, improve capacity usage in the buildings, and that's been done in large part by the work of our administrative team. We've had turnover in that administrative team, and it's those plans that have served the district well over time. I think that we do it well. I'm proud of what we've done, and I'm glad that leaning on the plans that we've written have allowed us to have confidence with solid financial results through unprecedented pandemic, have allowed us to do what we need to do. So I'm happy to support this tonight, and more so really happy for the community that so much deserves this.
Mr. Block, thank you. Anybody else from the board? I'm looking, I don't see any hands. Okay, can we go to roll call, please?
Denise Brooks,
Yes.
Marianne McKee,
Yes.
Joe Hidalgo. Joe Hidalgo.
Mr. Hidalgo is absent this evening.
Oh, he is? Okay, I'm sorry. Kristen Marcel,
Yes.
Ed Solomon,
Yes.
Andy Block,
Yes.
Mark Ballack is not here, right? Ed Tate,
Yes.
Dr. Thorwart,
No.
6-1.
Motion passes 6-1. Congratulations. Mr. Block, are you going to continue reading, or is Mr. Tate going to handle it?
Oh, certainly. Happy to.
Thank you.
I move to approve the Upper Makefield Township Land Development Improvements Agreement, Upper Makefield Township Municipal Improvement Security Account Agreement, and the Stormwater Best Management Practices Monitoring Operation and Maintenance Agreement for the Soul Finestone Elementary School Additions and Renovations Project, subject to solicitor's review and audit.
Second.
Second, Mr. Tate, thank you. Any comment? Seeing none, I'm gonna ask for a roll call, please.
Ed Tate,
Yes.
Dr. Thorold,
No,
Denise Brooks,
Yes,
Marion McKee,
Yes.
Joe Hidalgo. Oh, he's not here, right. Kristen Marcel,
Yes.
Ed Solomon,
Yes.
Andy Block,
Yes.
6-1.
Passes 6-1. Any other comments from the board? Great. Are we gonna do like an in-between show here, or is it just drop off, or are we gonna go right into it?
We're gonna go right into it, I believe. Dr. Elliott, you're ready to proceed, right?
Great. So I'm gonna thank you for everyone that attended. I'm gonna hand the meeting over to Mrs. McKee, the education